12,800 watt hours of battery storage. I'm going to give you a tour of my huge DIY battery bank that I've been building. Still a work in progress, but I want to show you kind of what I'm doing and how it's working so far. I want to say a big thanks to LiFePO4. They sent this battery out to me a little while ago to test, and I did put it through my full suite of real-world tests, so I'm going to leave a link for that video down in the description below, and I'll probably throw it up here in a tag in the top right corner as well. But this one's pretty sweet because it is their self-heated model, and they requested that I show you how I've integrated their battery into my system. And I thought, oh, that's great because I haven't shown my viewers what I've been doing with all these lithium iron phosphate batteries. Ignore this. I've got a video coming out on that soon, but right now it's just kind of helping to hold some cables up out of the way for me at the moment. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over here on this side we've got the same setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to show you how I've mixed different brands of batteries to bring me currently 12,800 watt hours of battery storage. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, so I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to route cables, etc. in this particular battery bank. But let me show you what I've done. This is a 12 volt battery bank. I decided on that just because I don't want to deal with balancing issues and different things like that with the different batteries. All of these batteries that I've got connected are the same size. So let's look at this LiFePO4 one. It's a 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. So one thing that all of these have in common is the voltage and the capacity. So they're all 12.8 volt nominal lithium iron phosphate 100 amp hour battery packs. How I've wired these is also important because I am paralleling more than just 4 batteries. I've got a whole bunch of overcurrent protection. First and foremost, I'm going to use this battery here because it's got a contrasting color. On every single positive, so here's a positive on this battery, here's a positive on this, here's the LiFePO4 battery positive. Notice that every single positive terminal on every single battery is fused. So I put a 125 amp fuse on every single battery. So that way, if you have a battery that does not have very good overcurrent protection, if it goes just above its 100 amp continuous discharge rating, it'll blow a fuse. So I've got a very tight tolerance on fuses on every individual battery pack. And I've done the same thing over here. You can see the fuse right there. This LiFePO4 battery right here is in a group of 5 batteries paralleled together on this side. And then that group of 5 over there is paralleled. And I'll be adding another group of 5 here soon once I get 5 more batteries. I've got all of the positives coming to a central bus bar from all 5 batteries. Then I up the gauge of wire leaving the bus bar, and each string of 5 batteries then goes through another overcurrent protection device, and you can see it right there. That is a T-class fuse. And that's only a 250 amp T-class fuse. If for some reason there was more current than 250 amps going through this particular, well, coming from this particular bus bar through that fuse right there, then that fuse would blow and isolate this battery pack. So again, protection is key, I'm thinking here, so I've gone overkill. From there, here's the wire. It comes out of that T-class fuse. We'll talk about this one here in just a second. And it comes to this next bus bar right here, and this is the power coming in from the other battery pack over here. So those 2 strings here are combined on this bus bar now. Notice now that we've gone up in size, so this is 2-aught gauge wire. Now we go to 4-aught gauge, and we go into another T-class fuse. So as we combine strings on this, again, each string being fused before it comes in here, and then we go into this T-class fuse here, which is a 400 amp T-class fuse. So if for some reason there's just a catastrophic failure of all of my things, and there's a direct short in my inverter, because this is the last stop before it hits the inverter right here, then that is one more layer of protection. And the inverter I use with this is come over here so you can read it right side up. It's the Renogy 3000 watt 12 volt inverter charger. It's a beast. It's a low frequency inverter, and it handles surges and stuff like a champ. It's awesome. I love this thing. And then currently I've just got some standard plugs here because I'm working on a transfer switch situation to my house. But for right now, I just run an extension cord into the house and power the loads off of that. And then I can plug, when the power comes back on, I can plug AC power into this plug here, and it goes through the inverter charger and recharges everything. On the negative side here, we've got similar situations. We've got an individual bus bar for each 5 strings. There's the negative bus bar for this side over here. And then up here on this box, we've got the other 5 batteries from this side feeding into that, and then they get combined on that bus bar right there. We step up the gauges of wire once again, and I do have a Victron Smart Shunt right here just so I can track my battery capacity as I use it and charge it, and then that feeds right into the inverter as well. I've been running this setup ever since I got my 5 original batteries hooked up, and then I got these 5 more hooked up, and I've got 5 more coming that I'm going to be adding to this system soon. And it has been working flawlessly. Super awesome to have such an amount of power on hand for home backup needs. Currently, I do not have solar panels hooked up to it, but I do have an MPPT charge controller right here. I have the ability to easily patch into this whole system here and get some power from the solar into it. The reason I haven't gone hog wild on solar with this particular setup is because it's 12 volts. It's hard to get a major amount of power through a charge controller into these batteries. Usually you need a little higher voltage, and we're going to be working on that on a future project, probably converting this to a 48 volt system at some point. But for now, we're going with the 12 volt. So it's just kind of my emergency backup solution for my house. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and ideas, questions, concerns, etc. of this setup. Do you think there's something more that you could do to increase the safety? I mean, I've gone kind of over the top with my fusing. One thing I do want to potentially add is just a big on-off switch, maybe here between this final bus bar and that last T-class fuse, just so that I have a master on-off switch for the batteries themselves. But any other ideas or thoughts? I always say the smartest people are in my comments section, so please sound off what you guys think and what you would do to improve or do this differently. Obviously, cable management needs a little bit of help, but I would love to hear what you guys think. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. 100% free to you, but benefits the channel tremendously. Especially if you want to see as I grow this and change it. This is going to be kind of an ever-evolving project. So stay tuned for more. We've got all kinds of cool stuff coming up. We'll catch y'all next time.